Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and as you can tell behind me, I have laid the groundwork, literally, for the graveyard behind our Barovian church. Beyond the grave. Actually, we haven't even gotten into the graves yet. Ideally, we don't want to be in the graves physically, but from a digging standpoint, like, we're just going to have to accept that we're going to have to hop down here and actually, probably end up inside some graves sooner or later. Now, this is supposed to be a fairly busy graveyard on account of, the vampire problem that this area has. So, what I was thinking is, based on the map provided by Mike Schley, it kind of looks like there would be a big cluster of graves in this back kind of corner area here. There are some larger mausoleums kind of toward the center in this main area, as well as additional mausoleums kind of off on either side. A lot of kind of smaller graves just packed wherever they can fit between the mausoleums as well. Which is why when you buy a mausoleum, you really want to also buy the land around it. Because who needs neighbors when you're dead? Especially, what if they're not good neighbors? That could be its own whole thing. So, I was kind of thinking about possible headstone designs. Like, just a single cobblestone wall doesn't really, I don't know. Maybe that doesn't look right. But, is something like this... See, that kind of looks like a grave, but that's a very elaborate grave. A simple marker. Can we put signs on the ground directly without a mod pack? Because, a traditional simple marker would just be a buried block like this with, a name on the top. Yeah, that's not really gonna do. Huh. Okay. Well, core concept. We can kind of take some people or take a chest, kind of put it in here, right? Boom. No! Chests, you're supposed to connect to each other. That's not a very good coffin unless the dead person was a magician's assistant who had a really, really untimely accident. So there we go. We can put that there. But core concept, we can come through here and just kind of set up a little bit, or a few rows. Actually, I'm looking, maybe we should have moved that one further back. Just kind of thinking about this here. We don't want them to be adjacent to the fence, because that's going to cause its own whole problem. But we don't want them to be too far from the fence, because then we can't just kind of put them in wherever. We need to have a densely packed cemetery. We need to pack the cemetery densely. We want to have each area of the graveyard kind of have its own feel to it. So this area will have a very dense, packed feel, as you can tell. And in the map, this is 3 rows deep. So, and it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 8 across, right? So what we'd probably want to do to kind of have this follow the original map would be to have these kind of come back. Whoops, why did I do that? That's not ideal. I'm so bad at digging where I'm supposed to dig. Well, so we've got these plots here looking pretty good, in my opinion. I want to go ahead and mark out at least where some of the big mausoleums are, just so that I can get a sense of the overall shape of how this whole space should fit together. I think we actually want to have, it looks like 2 kind of smaller mausoleums back here. So we might need to knock down this tree. Sorry, this tree. You are in the way of progress, and specifically the way progress will, result in the death of the dead. No, the storage of the dead. So, let's see. Mausoleum, the smallest we probably want to make it would be 5 by 5. What is that noise? Is that the leaves breaking? No, that's the vines breaking as the leaves decay. Yeah, the smallest we'd want to make a mausoleum would probably be, if we're going to store chests in them, let's just think about this. If the mausoleum is going to have coffins inside of it, we would have 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, and then we'd have another 1, 2. Whoops. Dang it, that's not what I wanted. So as you can see, we've got our 3 rows of graves here. I'm almost thinking maybe I should use path blocks to sink down the areas that have the caskets in them, and then use podzol or soul sand. Probably not soul sand, because nobody wants to walk on soul sand paths, but having soul sand or podzol paths would look a lot better. Now, those footprints for those mausoleums are about right. We were supposed to actually have one really big mausoleum, like right about in here. I probably want to go mark that off, as well as several kind of mausoleums kind of dotted throughout here. I think I'm going to go ahead and take care of some of those footprints off camera, and then we'll come back to build them. Time skip. As though reaching from the ground like a zombie hand in Michael Jackson's hit music video Thriller, which my daughter is still terrified of. Apparently, you might ask, Joe, at what age is it appropriate to watch Thriller with your child? I've been trying every Halloween, and we're still not there yet. Not every Halloween itself, but like Halloween season. But anyway, these mausoleum pieces have been just kind of growing up out of the ground. I've been planting little seeds, getting ideas about like how the paths should be. I'm thinking I'll use coarse dirt for the paths, have some kind of sunken earth made by shovels. I started doing some tombstones back here based on the layout from Mike Schle's original work. I realize there's a few problems with that. One, if you put signs on these, they don't look great because you don't normally put wood on a stone grave. Two, I need to kind of sink the stone in further. Once I put the shovels here, that's a problem. But what I was thinking was, what if I put some dead coral on top of some of these to really mix up, kind of give these some ornamentation? I think that would look amazing. I also kind of came up with the idea of having some of the mausoleums be like fancier. We've got little kind of baby mausoleums here. This one I've kind of started laying out where I'd have some slightly larger ones, kind of starting by establishing the footprint and then growing them upward. This one here I was thinking would be one of the largest ones. I was thinking I'd have some glass along the sides. Maybe not technically on all the sides, because really you do need somewhere to put the coffins unless you dig down. Like maybe you come up into here and then you go down into the mausoleum. This is just like a sitting and reflection area. But you can't reflect if you don't have glass to have your light bounce off of. So I figure we'll run over to the shopping district, home of my Halloween store, where I think I still have some extra black glass lying around, and where I think that we can find some dead coral courtesy of the convex. Now, I don't know if you much know about Cub Fan and Good Times with Sco, or Scar, for those of you who pronounce hard R's, not as O's. Depending on which part of the world you're in, that can be really popular. They've actually been working on a golf course in Hermitcraft, which apparently is based on the idea that if you throw a trident with Riptide enchantment, it lunges you forward. And while you are lunging forward, if you throw an ender pearl, it adds your forward velocity to the ender pearl's forward velocity, allowing you to throw an ender pearl up to like 250, 300 meters, which is insane. People have been asking me, Joe, when are you going to get Elytra on this server? I don't know that I need to now. What I need to do is I need to get a second hammer. And so what we're going to probably want to do is see if we can find, while we're in the shopping district, an extra trident and maybe an extra Riptide book. I'm not sure how to get Riptide books, but I think there's a bookstore somewhere in here. Because honestly, if I could jump back and forth from where my graveyard is to those areas where I'm working on like harvesting the dirt and stuff, that would be so cool. So let's see. One of these is the shopping district. Oh, hey, it looks like Wells Night has been improving our Nether Hub area in general here. Look at this. Got a little bit of a Greco-Ramen. Yeah, it's Greco-Ramen is like Greco-Roman, but with more noodles. It's very fancy. People sometimes will put an egg in there. It's delicious. I don't know. Yeah, olives and eggs. Is this the shopping district? It just says jingled. That's not helpful. Okay, I'm just gonna assume this is shopping district. Muscle memory don't fail me now. Yay, it didn't fail me. Wow. This is like... Oh, this is over by the mall, though. This is actually more convenient because we're right by my Halloween store. Okay, great, because that's where all my money is. So let's go to the Halloween store, grab my diamonds, grab that glass, and then hopefully we can find a trident shop and a bookstore. I've heard that both of these things exist somewhere in the shopping district, but it's anyone's guess if I'm competent enough to figure it out. Well, gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. I don't know who put this amazing cloud here with these rainfalls going on, But man, it is so cool. Oh no, other cloud, you're obscuring the good cloud. Dang it. It says a lot when the clouds in a game that like a human creates are better than the procedurally generated ones. You know, get a better procedure or a better generator. I don't know. Someday they'll switch to nuclear power clouds. Anyway, we are here in Concorp Presents Sad Coral, a coral shop. And as you can tell, they have chests here where they sell coral. I can get a dead fire coral fan, dead tube coral fan, all these different things for about 2 diamonds for each half stack. They've got 2 diamonds for 32 dead horn coral block or dead brain coral block. And then this is kind of pricey to me. 1 diamond for 2 coral. So, you know, that got me thinking. Like, I'm not exactly an Australian version of Dexter, which they would probably call, like, Good Dexter Mate or something like that. I don't work for Stars or Showtime or whoever. But I got to thinking, like, what if I check the prices over here at Hey Coral, and then, like, maybe I can get coral in here, and then, like, you know, kill it myself for the graveyard. And I gotta say, the selection here is already way better. We've got like 5 different variants here instead of 2. So, although they're the same price, 1 diamond per 32. I think that was maybe it, yeah. But then, like, you know, when you come over here, coral fans of these different varieties, these are all 1 diamond for 32. Like, to me, this says, Joe, let's put in 1 diamond in each of these. Whoops. This is clearly not how you click on things. Okay, we're gonna do that. Boom. Now we have way more coral. Now, it's not dead, but I've never actually intentionally killed coral before, but I have a feeling that I could probably just put this in some water, dump a bunch of chemicals on it, and then, like, I don't know, bleach it somehow. You know, this is the sort of thing, like, if, you know, we can do this in Australia, I can do it here. Like, they're like 12 hours behind, and, you know, so I should be able to make up the difference, I figure. So that covered us for coral. Now, I asked around about trident shops, and apparently the only trident shop on the server is Doc M's, and it's somehow located in some sort of pirate ship or something over here. I haven't had the chance to figure out exactly where that is, but I think I've seen something over by this dock here that might be it. Now, the thing is, it's actually some sort of gambling mechanic thing where you have to bid diamonds in order to try to win the tridents, and that kind of got me thinking. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Mega Millions, which is like an American lottery, is actually way up this week. They're saying it might be a $900 million jackpot. And I've read all these different papers arguing like, oh, howdy. Do you have extra tridents for sale? This might actually save us a whole bunch of trouble if we can just buy a trident from CubFan. I loved that Ender Pearl trick from your video. If you haven't seen it, CubFan had an amazing video where he was showing all these cool tricks to go super far with Ender Pearls using thrown tridents. Although I only have, if I want to go buy a 10 diamond Riptide enchantment, I only have 4 diamonds with which to trade for that. Is that the real CubFan there, or is that just a diorama? No. Okay, these are just fake CubFans. The real CubFan is probably somewhere else. This seems to be a log boat, not a trident shop of Doc M's. Thanks anyway. Okay, CubFan doesn't have any for sale. But yeah, so somewhere over here there's supposed to be a pirate ship that Doc M has some sort of gambler's den in. And I'm guessing it's not there. Have to gather some from Doc's farm, so maybe a few weeks. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay, that sounds like a lot of work. Like, you know, maybe we could just go down here and find some undead. Any undead down here on the seafloor? Am I wearing my armor? Okay, yeah. Just before you go looking for the undead, maybe check to make sure you have your armor on. Just kind of a quick tip. Man, it would have been smart to bring a boat. Or anything. We have returned safely to our creepy graveyard so we can resume wearing our pumpkin suit. Get rid of these unbreaking 3 diamond boots. Those are for people who aren't comfortable getting their feet wet or muddy or whatever. I don't know. I was looking at all this coral I've got, and I was kind of thinking, like, do these different coral blocks, like, dry out to have different textures when they're gray? Because that would be really cool if so. I'm not sure 100% if they will, but, like, it seems like we should give it a try, right? That also got me thinking, I was saying I need to bury these, like, stones too deep. Well, what if what I did was I put the andesite down here. Whoops. There we go. Andesite there. And then, like, we put the brain coral right here, right? Oh, yeah, see, there we go. Now we've got a tombstone, right? So we take this andesite, put in that one. We'll just let that, decompress for a little bit, dehydrate, whatever. We can kind of rotate these even. Oh, that's great. So then we get kind of different grays. Oh, this is even better than I thought it was going to be. So, like, if I put these different coral fans on top of them, then... Okay, so those are both... These are different colors from each other, but they seem to be roughly the same textures. If I put the brain coral fan... Yeah, maybe... Yeah, those are pretty much identical textures. Now they look kind of like weird fruits. So, can I reclaim those? Or, nope, is that gone forever? That might be gone forever. Maybe I need to use some sort of special shears or something. I'm going to have to figure that out. How do these fire coral work, though? See, that looks pretty neat. As something to go on top of a grave, right? And see, some of these, you might even be able to place, like, on the corners above these posts. So, although these are half slabs, so we can't place them on those. But just something to think about, like, having these here and here, maybe, might kind of give these graves kind of something extra. See, that feels right somehow. I just kind of like that. So, okay, we tried this fire coral. Let's go in here. Let's drop some more of these kind of different colored coral blocks around here. You can just pick up several of these now that we know for sure what we're doing. Well, from up here, those graves definitely look a little bit more varied than they did with the andesite. Like, just having that polished andesite, like, it looks too smooth and new. And that definitely gives it an aged feel. Like some sort of cheese that has been aged, And that's great. That's what we're trying to accomplish. I'm kind of thinking what I want to do is have these back walls of this mausoleum kind of filled in with more coral blocks to kind of get that same sense. I don't know if you can mix and match these like relatively well without it going all weird, but I kind of want to try something like this almost. Oh, that's actually kind of neat. Kind of gives it a cool plastery effect. So I'm just going to take a few of these that I have the most of and mix them in here. Because, like, this place is supposed to have aged, not necessarily all at once or well. Yeah, so having the tombs, like, or having the coffins stacked up against this wall here, then having the windows on this sides, that side, yeah, that's pretty good. I like being able to see out into the graveyard and see those little graves out there. I feel like that really adds a lot. Kind of, and having places that you can really get a sense of the space, having open and closed areas complementing each other, or busy and free areas complementing each other, can really go pretty far. Anyway, let's run underneath the ground and sleep before we are found by all the zombies and the phantoms that might descend from the sky. Time skip. So one other thing I want to test, can I place these coral fans in front of the graves? Like on the sides? No. Well, that's not a fan though. Let's see if we... Oh, that's cool. Now, the thing is that that's probably not going to look like a really good grave now. It just kind of looks... Oh, and for some reason you can't have sunken earth below it. That's actually a really cool decoration, though, for the side of a casket. Like, because I had done these buttons. No! Stupid fast pickaxe. Well, I can't replace that because it's broken forever. But if I can... I was going to say, can I place 2 of these on there? And it looks like we got, like, kind of carriers for, like, the sides of the coffin. That'd be really neat. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, that's my favorite new thing in Minecraft. Okay. This one's just going to be broken for a while. Sorry, this wood. Luckily, we didn't put a real dead body in there first. You know. In general, when you're still experimenting with concepts, don't use actual corpses. Just pro tip right there. So, anyway, we can come through here and close this off. And this mausoleum is now looking like it's in pretty good shape. We could then set up some sort of shelves or something for the caskets to lie on or to rest atop. I almost feel like the way to do it would be to have them, like, almost, maybe even having them out here with slabs on top of them. Like something like this, maybe. And then we put some sort of, not necessarily stone brick slabs, but like half slabs or something to like seal them up. I'm kind of curious maybe about putting something like this on top of each of them. Would that be too weird? Or, and maybe even having, yeah, this looks creepy to me in a way that I think is sufficient. This meets my expectations for what I would need out of a weird mausoleum. And I had no idea how good these coral blocks were going to be at conveying different grays. I am probably going to use all of my diamonds on these. This is going to be what I use all my buying power for. But you know what? That's okay. That's why we want buying power. So we can have buying influence. Oh, wait, no, don't buy influence. That's bad. Is it? Wait, I don't remember. Something about that. You should probably look into it on your own time. Today, we are just working on mausoleum roofs. They're nice and simple. You know, you don't have to worry about them. I kind of think I could do this almost like this and have it come around. Does that look right? Or, I don't know. I can't get high enough to see. Let's try jumping up here like so. That almost worked. What I should probably do is actually dig straight down and jump straight up. See, that being kind of broken, though, actually really fits with the whole kind of feel of the broken up cemetery. But, oh, there we go. That's even better. Yeah, just having little irregularities. Having different roofs. These should all be built different times. Maybe they were built, some of them, by the same people, but, like, there should be a sense of change over time to them. This is nice. I'm definitely enjoying this. So, anyway, we have made some severe progress on our graveyard today, but it's about time for me to head out. That sun is getting a little bit too low for my tastes. I'm going to come back here and do more in my next episode. If you guys have ideas for what kind of mausoleums you'd like to see kind of on this side of the graveyard, feel free to post them in the YouTube comments section below. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.